Assalamualaikum Tomato, my name is AQILAH SYAFIQAH and my matric number 280030, and in this video I will present the introduction and the conclusion. Background of the study. Based on the data from Department of Statistics Malaysia, it shows that the consumer price index has increased, and this increasing shows that the economy is facing inflation. Therefore, in this study, the focus are on the consumer behavior and its application. There are 5 research questions. First, what affects consumer behavior? How does COVID-19 pandemic affect the online purchases? What influences consumer to buy branded goods? Does the changing in income influence consumer purchases of goods? And lastly, what are the types of consumer behavior? For research objective, firstly, to study the factors that influence consumer behavior, to investigate the effects of COVID-19 on online purchases, to investigate the factors influencing consumer to buy branded goods, to identify the influence in consumer purchases when income change, and to identify the types of consumer behavior. The importance of these studies is to help to understand why, when, and what consumer thinks when they purchases goods. It also helps to see the effects of price changing toward consumer behavior. In these studies, we use 2 types of data, primary data and secondary data. For primary data, we use question and survey, and for secondary data, we collect facts and data from journal that obtained from the internet.
Good morning, doctor. My name is DHEVI and SYMMASELAM. My matric number is 281723. I would like to present my part, which is theory and concept of consumers' behavior. The study of how people make purchasing decisions is known as consumer behavior theory. It is also the study of how individuals, groups, or organizations choose, purchase, utilize, and dispose of ideas, goods, and services to satisfy their needs and desires. Consumer behavior is affected by 4 major factors. Firstly, consumer behavior is affected by psychological factor. The psychological factor are those pertain to an individual's psychology and motivate his or her activities in search of fulfillment. A person's attitude, impression of a situation, ability to grasp information, motivations, personality, and beliefs are all examples of psychological factors. Secondly, personal factor. Age, gender, financial condition, employment, background, culture, and location are only a few of the personal traits that people have. For example, an older individual's purchasing habits are likely to differ from those of a younger person. Third is social factor. Humans are social beings who are surrounded by a large number of people who impact their purchasing decision. Friends, family community, work or school community, or organizations can impact a person's social life. Social status, living environment, and education are all factors to consider. Fourth is cultural factor. When a person originates from a certain community, the culture associated with that community has a strong influence on his or her conduct. There are a few cultural factors to consider, which is religion, class, caste, and subcaste. In conclusion, consumer behavior theory enables businesses to gain a better understanding to their target market and thus develop products, services, and company culture to impact purchasing behaviors. That's all from me. Thank you.
Good morning, doctor and my friends. My name is DHEVI and my matric number is 289574. Today, I will present about theory and concept of consumer behavior. So, what is consumer behavior? So, consumer behavior or consumer choice is a theory about how people spend their money based on their individual preference and budget constraints. So, there are 3 basic assumptions about human behavior. First of all is utility maximizations. So, utility maximizations is when we're going for shopping, we'll choose to buy some things based on calculated decisions about what will make us happiest. Secondly is principle of non-saturation. So, principle of non-saturation is about the theory that assumes that no matter how much we are shopping, we will never be completely satisfied. Thirdly will be a decreasing marginal utility. So decreasing marginal utility is we will get more happiness from more consumption, but the amount of pleasure we get from each good decreases with the more that we consume. So consumer choice theory also includes everything from government policy to corporate advertising to academia. Consumers always get happiness from more consumptions. The amount of pleasure they get from each good decreases with the more they consume. Okay, next will be theory and concept of utility. So utility is a total satisfaction that we receive from consuming a good or service. Utility differs from person to person, place to place, and time to time. Utility also influences the demand, the price of goods and services. Utility is a measure indirectly where the revealed preference about the approach. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Mohamad Shafiq bin Mohamad Shafiq with matrix number 286885. So today, for my part, I will present 3.0 background of respondent. First, 3.1.1 gender of respondents. Graph 1 shows that 6 of the respondent is male equal to 33.30%, while for female shows that as many as 12 of respondents equal to 66.67%. Through this study, it can be proved that between men and women have a significant number. When it comes to gender, the perspective of consuming a product varies. Because of the differences in their upbringing and socialization, men and women have distinct buying preferences. Next, 3.1.2 ethnicity of respondent. The questionnaire shows that a number of 13 people represented by the Malays is equivalent to 72.22%. The Chinese are 3 people equivalent to 16.67%, and the Indians are 2 people equivalent to 11.11%. The majority of respondents are Malays compared to other races which are Chinese and Indians. It is because majority of citizens in Malaysia are Malays and others are minority. Lastly, 3.1.3 age of respondent. As a result, a total of 10 respondents were under 30 years old, which is equivalent to 55.56%, while respondents aged 31 to 40 and above 51 shared the same number of only 2 people equivalent to 11.11%. Furthermore, respondent aged 41 to 51 stated the number of 4 people equivalent to 22.22%. Therefore, this study can prove that the respondent under the age of 30 recorded the highest number who have answered the questionnaire that has been conducted to find out about the consumers' behaviors. People spend more money on their lifestyle demands while they are younger, such as entertainment, movie, and clothes. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum to everyone. My name is NURUL binti AZAHAR. My metric number is 286089. And now I will explain about analysis of consumer behavior 1. For the question, I prefer to possess good or product defined on their brand. We got 28% of respondents was agree, moderate, and disagree. Some of them was agree because they want comfort, happiness, and satisfy in their life, and encourage some of it to the product they buy because a branded thing is irrelevant and provides pressure on mind when they buy. Next, majority of customers was moderate to buy branded goods even the price is high because they're thinking that buy quality brand that are stylish, high class, or operate for a affordable sub or peer group and contributed to great social accepted, especially in fashion. Next, majority customer was moderate to increase their pressure as their income increased because some of them will switch the similar but better quality of goods, and some of them will use and buy different goods and service and spend most of their income on luxury goods. By a question, consumers mostly agree to increase pressure when the price of goods is low because it will improve the life standard of consumer, and consumer more likely to buy ordinary goods in largest quantity and buy luxury goods. A decrease in the relative price of the goods will increase the quantity demand because the good is now cheaper than the substantial good. Next, by the question, I prefer to buy goods online rather than in person. We got 39 was agree and 33 was disagree. Some of them would agree because buying goods by online easily compare product by price, reviews, and fashion, as well as become more service in the product selection process. And some of them will agree because some of product is facility, limited edition of branded product are only available exclusive by online. Next, where the question for saying good online is more creative and cost effective, some of them will agree with that statement because buying goods online is easy and save cost. We don't have to get ready and go to market because by online we have many stores to find product of choice. So it can be done for anywhere and anytime. And today, online shopping can only be done through mobile.
Assalamualaikum to Doctor. My name is NURUL. My metric number is 280047, and I'm going to explain analysis of consumer behavior 2. For the first question, we asked the respondents if the price of good A falls by 50%, I'll purchase it according to the ceteris paribus. The highest result from the respondent is they are choosing moderate and disagree. This shown that consumers' preference plays an important role in this part. The result of the survey followed by the respondents that agree and strongly agree. Next, we ask, even if the price of good A is high, I'll purchase good A according to ceteris paribus. Most of the respondents disagree to buy a good A. Good B most likely to be a consumer's preference from the survey. Good B has a high demand than good A. Moving on to the next question. If the price of good B rise by 50%, I'll purchase good A according to ceteris paribus. From this survey, we can conclude that consumers tend to smart in spending money due to the most of them choose to be moderate. 33.3% of them agreed to buy good A as a substitute of good B. If my income increased by 50%, I'll purchase good A according to ceteris paribus. For this survey, highest result is moderate, which is customers still need other consideration between two goods. The number of people agree and disagree are the second highest results, which means that goods A still has market demand. Last but not least, if my income increased by 50%, I'll purchase both of good A and good B. For this question, we can conclude that both of the goods are considered as substitute to each other, so the highest result is moderate. We can also conclude that different genders and age creates a lot of different type of satisfaction. That's all from me, thank you.
In conclusion, it is proven that consumer behavior is not just influenced by personal factor, but is also affected by psychological, social, and cultural, as is targeted by culture and Armstrong.
Good morning, doctor and my friends. My name is DHEVI and my metric number is 289574. First of all, I learned a lot of things throughout this assignment, and I also have more interested to study economy subject. Okay, other than that, I learned the importance of collaborations and group communications. By this, me and other friends able to do our assignments smoothly. We also divided into parts to do our assignments. Without these group discussions, I think we can't able to do our assignments. So we also get more bond each others. And then I also learned to do a literature review, and then I also learned to do a video and presentation through Canva designs, and these Canva designs helped me to do other assignments, and I think that's all. Thank you, doctor and friends.